Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about returning to work after an extended break, leave of absence, something like that. Now, I've had several people reach out to me, whether it's through the comments on my YouTube videos or directly via email, requesting specific content on this topic. How do you return to work if you've been out of the workforce for a while? This could be several months or even several years. So before I jump into that, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to learning about these tips. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. So let's say that you have been out of work for several months or maybe even several years. And this could be due to a variety of reasons. Maybe you just chose to take a break from work. Maybe you were on more of an extended maternity or parental leave and you were engaging in childcare. Maybe you were acting as a caregiver to someone in your family or a close family friend. Or maybe you yourself were taking an extended leave because you had some medical issues or problems going on. So regardless of your reasons for taking a break, you're now ready to return to work. So how do you go about this process? First, I want to just acknowledge that this video is relatively generic and isn't going to be personalized to your specific situation. So while I hope that you will be able to take some tips from this and be able to make some movement in that direction that you're hoping to go, it could be helpful to work with me one-on-one to get more of a personalized approach to setting your goals and determining how you want to move forward with this next step in your career and in your life. So if you're looking for more of that personalized coaching, please consider reaching out to me directly. I've linked my website and my email in the description box below, so feel free to reach out to me directly. And if you're not quite ready for that step yet, keep watching. Hopefully these tips will be helpful, at least with getting your brain thinking about what might come next and how you can start to consider those important next steps. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you take some time to assess your true desires, core values, and have a moment to be truly honest with yourself about what you want and what you need. You want to understand what you need from a financial or compensation standpoint. So what is a realistic salary or hourly rate for you? What are those salary or wage expectations and needs? Do you need health insurance? And if you do, what type of health insurance do you need? Would you like retirement options? So like a company that contributes to a retirement account for you or a pension of some sort. Do you need a position that offers you paid time off, vacation time, sick time, things like that? So assess what you need from a compensation perspective, which includes not only the pay of a position, but some of those other benefits. When it comes to assessing what you want and what you need, you also want to consider the type of schedule and the flexibility that you desire. What type of work do you want? Do you want part-time work? Do you want full-time work? Do you want temporary or contract work or even freelance work? Do you want to work in the office? Do you want to work in a hybrid environment where you both go in the office and you also can work from home or remote? Or are you looking for 100% remote or work from home options? What about shift work? There can be lots of benefits to shift work. Maybe you want to work 48 hours on and 96 hours off. Maybe that works better with your family and your schedule. And as you're considering all of these things, what is your actual timeline for getting a job? Do you need a job now? Did you need a job yesterday? Or do you have some flexibility to be able to take your time and truly evaluating the different roles, the different organizations, your different wants and needs before you make a commitment to a job? So understand your timeline and how it relates to all of these different wants and needs that we've already discussed. The final aspect of this when it comes to assessing your true desires, your true wants and needs, and being honest with yourself is understanding your own personal core values. So in addition to possibly working with me one-on-one from a general career coaching standpoint, I also offer a personal branding package where I can work with you to help determine what your core values are, your strengths, your weaknesses, even help you write your mission statement and your vision statement. And you can use those aspects of your personal brand to find a job and an organization that is the right fit for you, especially in this time of transition. We'll talk about things like, what did you enjoy before you took this break from work? What did you miss about your world of work while you were on this break? Now that you're thinking about going back to work, what sorts of things did you dread in the workplace? And how can you avoid those moving forward? Ideally, you'll find an organization that aligns with your personal brand, that aligns with your core values, and really helps you feel like you're contributing to something greater than yourself, and that it's not pulling you away from other important aspects of your life. So that's step one, is to spend some time evaluating your true desires, what you want, what you need, assessing your core values, and being truly honest with yourself about that timeline, your expectations, things like that. The second step is you're going to want to assess your skills and your strengths. Are you going to be applying to a role that you were in previously, that you have some level of comfort with? Or are you going to be applying to a completely new role or a completely new industry? You'll want to update your resume and update your LinkedIn profile to start to reflect your skills and your strengths as it relates to the roles or industries that you're applying to. So even though you've been out of work potentially for several months, if not years, you may have engaged in certain activities that you can use to update your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Did you obtain any new certifications or engage in any education of any sort? Did you have any new trainings, certifications? Did you take any classes, etc.? Did you do any volunteer work or unpaid professional work? And kind of along those lines, are there any volunteer opportunities that you can take advantage of now that could potentially help you get a job in the future, whether it's with that same organization that you're volunteering with, or it can provide you with that professional experience to really make you more of a competitive candidate when you start to apply. So once you've assessed your skills and your strengths, you want to start to explore what's out there. Now, onetonline.org, is one of my most favorite resources to share with my clients. Now, this is a website that is through the Bureau of Labor Statistics here in the United States. So if you are not in the United States, it may not be fully relevant, but it is still a good resource to at least explore. ONET is essentially a compilation of a bunch of different occupations. And there's a lot of different resources that are available on ONET that allow you to do some in-depth research on job titles, summaries, knowledge, skills, and abilities required to be successful in the jobs, salaries, etc. So if you haven't looked at ONET before, I highly recommend that you take some time and dive into it to really explore what's available now. You can also have other free resources available to you, like your workforce center. Again, this might be something that is more specific to the United States, but most counties and some municipalities have workforce centers where they will be able to connect you to certain opportunities, or at least provide you with quality but low-cost coaching opportunities. They can help you with resume reviews and interview prep. You can also look into temp agencies, organizations that will somewhat allow you to kind of dip your toes back into the world of work without fully committing to a full-time position right off the bat. So explore your options. Explore what organizations are out there, explore what new roles are out there, and then also explore resources that can help you somewhat ease into the process of rejoining the workforce. Along these same lines, it's time to assess if there may be any gaps that you need to fill. So if you know that you want to go into a certain role or a certain industry, there may be areas where you have gaps in education or experience. So if you're in the position to not take a job right away, are there ways that you can fill those gaps? Can you take additional training courses, certifications, take classes? Can you volunteer in a certain area to get some hands-on experience even though it might not be paid? Do you need a software or technology refresher? Maybe it has been several years since you've worked with Microsoft Office and you need a quick refresher on how to use Excel and Microsoft Word. So evaluate and be honest with yourself about what gaps you might have and how can you fill those gaps so you can continue to be a very competitive candidate. And then finally, prepare for your job search. Job searching can be extremely stressful. So you want to make sure that you have somewhat of a system associated with your job search. You want to be focused with the types of jobs that you're applying to. You don't just want to apply to 100 random jobs. And you want to be intentional about the jobs that you're applying to. So like I mentioned earlier, update your resume, update your LinkedIn profile. If you're not really quite sure where to start when it comes to your resume, I have a free master resume template available for download on my website. I've linked to it in the description box below. And I also have a free resume ebook with tips on how you can write a really good resume. Again, also available for free for download from my website. Link to that in the description box below as well. You'll want to spend some time researching different roles and organizations so that you can really find a role and an organization that is truly a good fit for you, that takes those things that you considered in the very first step, your wants and your needs, into consideration and actually is something that aligns with those wants and needs. Something that is a position that will not only challenge you and make you feel like you're contributing to something greater than yourself, but also gives you the other compensation that you're looking for: health insurance, retirement, PTO, etc. And then you're going to also want to engage very strategically in interview preparation. You'll use this opportunity to start to shape your narrative about your career break. You need to start considering how you're going to answer the question, "Tell me about yourself." It's likely that each interview that you're a part of will start off with a question like this, if not the exact wording of the question. And so you want to be able to effectively give some insight into why you took a break, but not give too much personal information, and still really demonstrate how you're going to be the best candidate for the role. Again, I offer interview strategy sessions where I can meet with you to go over questions and answers to very common interview questions and help you strategize your specific individual response to these types of questions. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider reaching out to me directly. Like I've mentioned before, I've got my contact information and my website listed in the description box below, and I'd love to help you with this process. As you prepare for your job search, consider your network. Who do you know who might be able to help you get your foot in the door? Whether it's someone in a specific organization, someone in a specific type of role, someone who might know someone else who can get you into those types of organizations or roles. It's all about who you know and how you can use your network to your advantage when it comes to your job search. Working with someone like me as a career coach can help you set your goals and really identify a plan and next steps for how to move forward. So if you really are considering coming back to work after a long-term career break, it may be helpful to work with a career coach, whether it's someone like me or someone in a workforce center or someone local to where you are, to really help you set those goals and set the timeline and the expectation, and maybe even ask some questions that you haven't considered before. So if that's something you're interested in doing with me, please reach out to me directly. Like I said, I got my contact information in the description box below. I'd love to work with you one-on-one as you start to make this transition back into the world of work. So if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas on this, please throw them in the comments box below. You're probably not alone. So not only will I try to respond to them each individually, but your questions, comments, thoughts, and ideas can help other people who are experiencing or who have experienced something similar. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.